Congratulations on this movie. I thought it was terrifying. Uh,
That's
I,
what we want.
Yeah. Are you scared of spiders?
I'm not scared of spiders, but this spider definitely did have me jumping out of my seat at certain points. When reading the script, what made you guys want to be a part of this?
Well, always when I find a character that's kind of, it feels like me in some way, but in a different world. And when I relate to the character as just a normal teenage girl until all this stuff happened, I was just like, yes, this is the one. I don't have to wear a wig every day. I'm just myself. And I don't know, it just, as an actor, when you find one of those roles where like it is so much you and you get to play around with that, and it's kind of like one massive workshop and it's just great. And like, I just loved it when I could be me as Charlotte and Charlotte was me. I don't know. I liked when we were kind of interconnected and that we're very similar and not at the same time.
Ryan?
Um, Working with Kiah, I'd sort of wanted to for years. I've known his work for a long time since Wormwood, and he creates these such visual, sort of high energy, slightly elevated worlds. And you notice that from his early horror films all the way through. And I really wanted to see, and I had for years, what that was like and what that energy was like.
Mhm.
And I think this film, it kind of strikes an interesting tone. It's scary, but it's got sort of a family. It's got a family dynamic at its heart, and it's also got these sort of comedy elements. And we're sort of paying homage to films of the '90s in a strange way. So I think striking that tone and getting to collaborate with Alyla and Penelope and Kiah in trying to create that was sort of the challenge and what really drew me to it. That and the fact that Ethan's a step parent, and the idea of navigating that relationship with your stepdaughter, and I'd had step parents in my life really appealed to me. I loved the idea of paying homage to relationships that aren't uh, nuclear.
Definitely. Like you mentioned, this film, even though the main villain is the spider, you have all these other conflicts going on with the family, with the stepdaughter stepdad relationship. From those, from going back and forth from the spider to the family relationship, how daunting is that task as an actor?
Well, you had to do them often next to each other, did you? To be so like scream before lunch for your life, and then go back to the start again.
I know it's crazy. Like I genuinely cannot remember. So I don't know. Um I can't tell you whether it was hard or not because I don't remember like the scene order, but in my mind, it was all of the non-screaming ones at the beginning, and then it all just kind of escalated into this massive feast of screaming and fighting and blood and prosthetics and everything. So I think that that's how it played out in my head. And because it's been like a while, I don't know, maybe 2 years, is that possible? Anyways, because it's been a while, maybe just 1 year, but still, I've kind of forgotten which scene order was, and that's how it played out in my head. But I'm not sure if that was a good answer.
I certainly haven't. I remember going from like before lunch and being dropped down in a web by my feet and sweating and losing your voice, and then coming back and having to hey, come in here, sweetheart, and do things at the complete. That's sort of the nature of the business. Sometimes you can't always choose to go sequentially, although that would be ideal. You do as much as possible, but that's just sort of part of the challenge. And I mean, Kiah did an incredible job, I think, for both of us at setting the tone at where we just come from and where we were going to, where we were at in that relationship, and what little piece of the puzzle we were sorting out that day. And I think as long as we broke it down like that, and I certainly, I watched you go from breakdowns to little cutesy scenes with things that weren't there to to chilling with your headphones all in a single day. So I think you're underselling it a bit. I don't know how you don't remember it.
I can kind of remember. I can kind of remember doing like cockroach scenes and oh, I think I remember like in the middle of the day they had to cover me in goo.
Yeah, and then take the goo off.
Take it all off. I think I remember they had to blow dry my hair because I had makeup on, and they had to take off all my makeup. So maybe they did have to do that. But also, it is also a lot about the physical appearance of you in the scene, as in when I'm scared, I'm covered in grime. I can feel the grime, not in a bad way, but I can kind of feel it and helps me get into that kind of character, get into the scene and what scene I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiah is such a good director and he guides you so well throughout this whole arc. Like he knows where he is because he wrote the script. He knows where he is. And I think that's really a really good thing about being on set of Sting because Kiah was there.
Well, since you didn't really have something to play off of, you have to imagine the spider with you. Uh, what direction did Kiah give you in order to get the emotional responses and the jumps out of you for when you had to be scared of it?
Sometimes he'd literally get up and I mean, Kiah's such an energetic director, and he's, you know, he'll sometimes come in, you can tell he's got something in his head and he's excited about it, and he'll literally sometimes get up as the character and unknowingly sort of do pratfalls himself and sort of give you like things to like frameworks to actually work off. But I think more particularly, we were telling a story a little earlier. We were wondering the same thing. How are we going to be scared of this giant spider that was sort of an homage to 90s films and aliens? And I think Lila was sitting in the makeup chair, sort of getting her process together and trying to sort of comprehend that. And I kind of jokingly walked past and said, "Well, you've just worked with Sigourney Weaver, right? Why don't you call? She did Alien. Why don't you give her a call?" Walked out of the makeup room, came back in, and Sigourney Weaver was on FaceTime to her in the makeup chair, explaining.
So yeah, it's because one of the scenes that I was going to do that day was inspired by the scene in Alien where the alien is like right in front of Sigourney. So I wanted to ask her how she would do it, and she gave me some great advice about reacting to the spider as it's there, taking it all in, looking at it like a scientist. And I think that's what I really used in that scene. I think that's kind of what made the scene, made me kind of scared but still observant of this spider, as Charlotte would be. She would be terrified, but she'd still not be able to look away, if you know what I mean, because that's a spider.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Miles. I remember her saying something about like we would say, like, I don't know what it's like to be scared of something like a big like you know, an alien or whatever it may be, and she sort of said, but you know what it's like to be scared of something small or something that was personal to you, right? So it might have been, you know, what it's like to be scared that something's going to happen. And then she sort of talked about expanding from that point, so taking us to somewhere that was very true and using that as a bouncing board to make fantasy.
And it's so good having the spider there, being able to react to it just like she was able to in Aliens.
Definitely. I'm sure you guys have seen the film or the final film already. Is there a scene that you guys are thrilled to see how people react to, or something that you enjoyed that you want people to see?
I haven't seen the film yet because I want to wait for the premiere because, you know, it's a massive night. Well, it's more of a cast screening, but still, I want to wait for the premiere. So the cast screening. But I think that I'm excited to see. Oh, never mind. I thought I just bombed out. Sorry. I'm excited to see some of the deaths because I wasn't necessarily there shooting some of them. I remember we reacted to one that I'm not going to say due to spoilers, but we were reacting in the basement, and then I think I saw a quick flash of playback, and I was so excited, but I never actually got to see the full scene, like us, like, and then the death and stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for that one.
It's really good, Lars. I'm excited to watch it with an audience and see how. I think films, creature features like this, films that are sort of tonally slightly elevated, and Kiah's films in general are best viewed with an audience, and it's best viewed with that sort of energy. So I'm really interested to see where the moments are where people lift out of their seat or scream. And I'm also really interested, which was the focus of the film for me, how the heart lands. I think underneath any good horror film or underneath the genre, and Kiah spoke about this, there is something very real going on between the characters, and it comes from somewhere very real from both Kiah and us. And so I'm interested to see how that balance is struck and how we navigate a story that's about family essentially and connection and trying to heal with a giant alien monster spider.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How did you guys build that step-parent relationship? Because that seemed very, very honest, very authentic.
I feel like we got along from the what's the phrase? From
Get go.
the
From the
from the
get.
get Yeah, that one. Anyway, so I think that we got along from the get-go, and is that right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm laughing because we're finishing each other's sentences. We're sort of like we're giving the answer while trying to give the answer.
yeah, so I think that we got along from the beginning, and I think that kind of we had like 1 week of pre and we did lots of scenes. And we both had like a clear idea of the characters and the relationship of the two characters. And I think that our ideas kind of aligned, and Kiah agreed with our ideas and his idea. And that them on Zoom. Oh my
Hey, Mom.
Anyways, and I think that all our ideas kind of aligned and clicked into place. And then we just started filming on the first day. I think the first week-ish was like all kind of just the banter and the teenagery-ish kind of fights and stuff. So I think that kind of helped, having one of like the first couple scenes we shot were all just like in Charlotte's bedroom, and those scenes.
Yeah, they were their close scenes, weren't they? They were their scenes where at least Ethan's trying to connect with you. And I think piggybacking off that, as people, we're meeting for the first time too when we come into rehearsals, and so it's really about finding out what each other are about and learning what makes each other laugh and sort of developing that trust that you can carry over into a relationship that's been going many more years than ours has as people. And I think Kiah is pretty incredible at making an environment where we all felt like we were making a family. We'd sometimes improv through scenes that weren't in the film, that like might have just been a normal day in the kitchen, or I think we improv some scenes when we would get along really well, or when we draw together, and where that sort of that common love came from. And so you sort of extrapolate out from that point. And use parts of your own life, and then of course you have the script sort of supporting you. But I think it's all about connection and learning to trust each other, and hopefully if you can do that on camera, I think that makes the best performances and the best connections.
Definitely.
You both did an amazing job. Congratulations on this project, and I can't wait to see it with an audience as well.
Thank you. I'm excited. I can't wait.
So proud of you for waiting for the premiere to see it. That's hard. Good on
have
you.
to.
Good on you.
It's really hard, actually.
Being scared of yourself. It'll be weird being jump scared over something you made.
I know. I think I know where the jump scare is. Like the one scene that was the hardest for me to shoot is when my character got jump scared, and hopefully I know where it is. When I'm like crawling, I'm not gonna. I don't want you guys to know. We might have to edit that part out, but yeah, that was like terrifying for me because the whole day I kind of not seen the thing I was going to be jump scared by, not seen it. And then they were like, okay, action. And I was just walking, and then I just saw it, and I was like, and then I like jumped off of camera because I was so terrified. Don't know why, but I was terrified. It was scary. I didn't want to film it again, but I was literally, my whole head had gone off camera because I was scared. So I jumped back, and in the process, I had to shoot it another couple times.
Well, once again, congratulations, and thank you both very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.